The United Nations is warning today of an approaching global water crisis because of pollution, global warming and overconsumption.
The UN says up to half the world's population doesn't have access to sanitation and a quarter doesn't have access to a safe water supply.
Global water cycle is a global common good.
UNICEF had recently warned that 190 million children in 10 African countries don't have access to clean water.
Prompted health officials to issue an ocean water quality advisory for all LA County beaches. Beachgoers are urged to avoid all water contact.
The bodies of over 90 migrants, mostly women and children who died of thirst, have been found in the Sahara in northern Niger.
So Obama's talking about all of this with the global warming and that, and a lot of it's a hoax. It's a hoax. I mean, it's a money-making industry, okay?
With 45,000 police officers on the streets, hundreds of them have been injured so far, authorities say. Amid the chaos, looting overnight, hundreds of cars set on fire. And the State Department urging Americans to stay away from the protests for their safety. The unrest coming in response to Tuesday's killing.
We've seen war. We don't want war. But if you want war with the United States of America, there's one thing I can promise you, so help me God. Someone else will raise your sons and daughters. We fight so our children never have to. We fight for one day when our children and our enemies' children can discuss their differences without fear or loathing.
Ever shortened deadlines, known as beat the clock.
250. I did the same thing with NATO. I got them to pay up. NATO was busted until I came along. I said, everybody's going to pay. They said, well, if we don't pay, are you still going to protect us? I said, absolutely not. They couldn't believe the answer. And everybody, you never saw more money pour in. The Secretary General Stoltenberg, well, I don't know if he is anymore, but he was my biggest fan. He said, all these presidents came in, they'd make a speech, they'd leave, and that was it. And they all owed money, and they wouldn't pay it. I came in, I made a speech, and I said, you got to pay up. They asked me that question. One of the presidents of a big country stood up and said, well, sir, if we don't pay and we're attacked by Russia, will you protect us? I said, you didn't pay? You're delinquent? He said, yes, let's say that